Hello, my name is Tom.
And I'm Eamon.
And welcome to the first ever episode of This One Time. Very recently, Eamon and I came to the realization that in our abject failures to become functional adults, we had accumulated some pretty cool stories in our life. And when we continued to think about it, so had our friends. So we decided that from time to time, we would come together with friends, tell some stories, drink some beers, talk some shit, and record the whole exercise in futility. See what happens. And what you're listening to right now is that thing what I just said.
Each episode will feature a story that from both Tom and I, as well as some guest shit talkers. Today we're joined by Nissa Elliott. We're also joined in the room by a cast of miscreants who are here to drink our beer, undermine our... Oh, fuck, it just sounds like I'm reading.
That's all right.
Fuck this. Undermine our self-confidence and bang our girlfriends.
Each episode will feature a loose theme on which a story must vaguely centre. Each story must start with the phrase, "this one time." The stories will be true, or as true as they can be whilst still being a good story. Sensitive names are of course changed to protect the identity of the innocent and the guilty alike. And we reserve the right to make ourselves sound totally cool and make our detractors sound like whiny bitches.
Because they totally fucking are.
So, before we get started, how are we all today? Feeling good? We got a beverage?
You excited?
Woo!
Yeah!
I need another drink.
Jesus
We
Christ.
told you to get ready before we
We
started!
talked about this!
God!
Alright, you go do that if you want to.
Might.
If you need to.
Yes, please. Splishy splash.
Alright, so I figure because it's the first episode, we might have a bit of fun. It took a while to settle on the name This One Time. It went through a bunch of iterations and workshopping and all that sort of shit before we settled on This One Time.
There was 2 Skypes or something like that.
2 Skype meetings.
Yeah.
Skype meetings.
Yes.
How far away do you live from each other?
Oh, you know where Thomas lives?
Yeah, he lives so far away.
Oh, really?
Like
It may as
40
well be the fucking moon.
Yeah,
Oh,
40
wow.
minutes north side. Alright, so these are some of the ideas that we had for the title before we settled on This One Time. We had, why are we still friends?
The Unlikables.
Are you afraid of the snark?
Tales from the Dicks.
And my personal favourite was Tom and Eamon's noble quest to reclaim their virginity.
Except our obvious more favourite one, which was This One Time.
Yeah, shut up.
Wait, Tom, you're not a virgin?
Fantastic.
This is the time where your girlfriend gets up in a huff and leaves.
Alright. In order to decide the order in which we are telling our stories, I thought we might play a game. Originally, I wanted to decide based on how recently we all had sex, but then I realised I didn't want to lose. So instead, I thought we might decide based on how recently we all had gotten into a physical confrontation with a person. If we're out on the night, having drinks and whatnot, and someone's either gotten into a fight with you or tried to get into a fight with you. So, Nissa, when was the last time you almost or did get into a fight?
Well, there's been a lot of times where I've almost got into a fight, and I've managed to diffuse the situation into a place where I didn't hit anyone. But the last time I actually got into a fight was quite a few years ago. So, like, probably 3, when I was walking down the street at Coolangatta, and that guy popped me in the face.
Right, yes, I remember that.
Fucking good.
Alright, what about you, Amy?
Oh shit, I'm fucking soft. I think the last time I was in any kind of altercation, I got the shit kicked out of me by a bunch of people in Mackay when I was 20 or 21.
21?
Yeah, about a decade ago.
Michael just reminded me about how the year before last we had that train altercation. That was
Right, you got
pretty far.
your
Oh,
ass
that's
kicked on the train. Yeah.
That was in the fucking
I'm
news.
pretty sure I still have that guy's shirt.
I'm pretty sure you forgot about that one because you weren't the one who got punched in the mouth immediately.
I think
as
you
soon as
came out the
train
winner.
doors
You made a
opened.
profit. You got a shirt out of
Yeah.
that ordeal.
They
So-
started the fight with me, and Nissa finished the fight with them.
No, tell the cooler story. The one that
Do you
wound
wear
up
the
in the
shirt
news
at
sounds
least?
better.
That wasn't even one of the stories I was going to tell.
Alright, so I think that means that I was most recently in a physical
You
confrontation.
know what? I've never been in a fight, not one.
Never?
Yeah, right.
Is that through choice?
I've been hit,
Getting
but I've
yourself
never gotten in a fight. Like,
Well,
I've
I've
never
not needed to.
punched anyone.
Never come up.
Never been in a fight, never been arrested either.
I've been detained.
No,
Oh,
not
shit.
even that.
No, yeah, fuck. I've been in an altercation sooner.
Go on then.
I was, I don't know, drinking in the valley as you do and stuck in that little rotunda out the front of fucking 299, which used to be the depot. And a friend of mine was talking religion with some fucking stranger. I was just like sitting back watching, going, "This is gonna get good." And yeah, my mates start getting into a fight with these other guys, so I jump on. I picked up a shoe and threw it like it was one of the other guys' shoe. Exactly right. That's what was going through my head.
No, not even a shoe. Someone else's shoe.
Fuck yeah!
Did you take it off them?
Yeah, no, I didn't take it off him. He'd lost it, like, while they were fighting. He'd lost his shoe, so I picked it up and was like, fuck you. I threw it on top of the McDonald's.
I can imagine you as well.
morning.
You were like, alright, I'm gonna fucking sort this out. Give me
I'm gonna put this on the roof.
I jumped on the guy's back, and then, oh shit, it wouldn't have only lasted about 30-45 seconds before the cops showed up and the secchies stepped in. And I spent the next, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes with a cop sitting on my back.
Nice.
With a cigarette still in my mouth. I actually had a rolled cigarette in my mouth. Where, oh shit, what was the name of that other pub? The burlesque bar that was just down the street from 299.
It's called
Yeah, the cab. No, the cabaret's
it's
like.
burlesque.
I think it was the actually bar burlesque.
Yeah.
Somebody like saw this all going on, and saw the cop sitting on my back. He came up and relit my cigarette while it was still in my mouth.
Outstanding.
And
That's awesome.
but yeah, by the time all that shit had sorted itself out, the 3 a.m. lockout, so it was about that recent. Well, that was only.
That's like 5 fucking years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, okay then. Well, half
We're
a
old.
decade, begging your pardon.
Alright.
But well, it wasn't until like a couple of years. It wasn't until a couple of years later when it's like, oh yeah, just write a statement of what happened, and you're like, okay, I'll just write down on this piece of paper and pretty much admitting, like, you can admit guilt immediately by writing down, like, oh yeah, I punched a guy, or anything.
So you get to write, I threw a shoe.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, I did. I said I threw this guy's shoe on top of the McDonald's awning, but
So
yeah.
you recently just got out of prison then?
Yeah, I did hard time for assault with a deadly sandal.
Converse never saw it coming.
McDonald's didn't try to see the company damage.
Yeah, right.
Brilliant. So I don't actually remember mine, but it was relatively recent in the past few months or so.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Aim and Mel and I went out for an evening on the town.
A quiet night.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it
and
was good.
we went to my work, which at the time was Brunswick Social, and we got thoroughly liquored up by my boss because he's a generous sort of chap. And Mel, can you tell me what happened? Because for the life of me, I actually don't know.
They're trying to find, I think, a cab.
Yeah.
Maybe an Uber. I don't know.
I think we were chasing an Uber, and I don't remember it, but I remember I wanted to get an Uber.
We were going past the family, and these group of girls were having a bit of a scratch up and just disagreeing on stuff.
That's always funny.
And
Yeah.
then, no, but that's what Thomas thought in his moment of,
You got dragged into the fight by laughing at them.
yes,
That's happened to
It
me.
was
Oh yeah,
that
we would
face.
love that.
Just grab out the popcorn and just sit there on the
No
curb
one likes
watching
being
them.
laughed at. Like,
No.
you don't, you can't
at
just
one
walk
point
off
there
line
was
in
the
movie.
words, ladies.
There's plenty of time to go around.
And it was like,
Did that calm it down?
no.
That made it worse.
Well, they're coming out of
No
the
way.
family. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking call me lady.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yes.
if Tom the diplomat can't defuse a situation,
You had that laughter face on your face as like it was happening too, and they were like, yeah, and they were like coming in. It's like, all right, you want to go me? You want to go me? And he's just cackling his ass off.
See, meanwhile, like, I'd been drinking
Been
just
there
about
more
everything
than
that
once.
bar, like, that your boss had been giving me. I was like, oh yeah, I was talking to him about cachaça, that shit that you can get from Brazil. And he's like, oh yeah, we've got some of this. So he's making me cocktails out of that kind of shit. It's good. Oh, it's tasty. But I don't remember any of that shit happening.
Yeah. No,
I was
neither do
oblivious until, like, I got home, I think, and I was like, okay, it's bedtime. What happened, like, next morning?
He's just kind of laughing and like, yeah, I want to go. And I'm like, no.
So what happened? Like, did they beat you up?
No,
No, they kind of dragged him into the circle, and then the cops rocked up,
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
And-
Save the day.
like dragged all these girls off. So there's like probably about 6 to 8 girls, just totally inebriated. Him in the middle laughing his ass off. Me grabbing his arm and just being like, and over here, please. But he was loving it though. All these
I was having a
girls,
good
like,
time.
just
It's
like.
always funny. It's always hilarious when people are having a fight in the valley.
I have,
like, it doesn't, woman or man, it's always funny as fuck.
Oh, yeah, no,
I've had
especially...
those moments a few times. Other than that, I recently went to Fat Louie's. I think it was with Megan,
Oh, yeah.
and we were just drinking and having a generally pretty good time. And our hens party rocked up, and
Ready for a fight?
they were doing karaoke, and I couldn't help myself. I had several beverages, and I went up to them. I was like, "Why for those listening at home, Fat Louie's is a notorious dive bar. It's the diviest of dive bars in
It's
Brisbane."
an actual
Don't they
dive bar.
almost-
not a
Oh, yeah, no,
clandestine
it
dive
is-
bar.
it
Isn't
is-
that where they go to do karaoke though? That's
Yeah,
like-
like there's the
Yeah.
Korean
Yeah.
section or...
Hey, I've used a supersized Coke and brought in a bottle of vodka. That
Yeah.
place is the
Just-
shit.
It is
Yeah.
disgusting and fantastic. All the best and worst stories
They
happen.
used to let teenagers smoke up there.
Yeah, no, I used to do that.
I used to do that. I used to karaoke, drink my very big Coke with vodka, and sing Heart-Shaped Box.
Yeah.
I used to just play pool because fuck karaoke, I can't sing.
I approached these girls on a whim and just questioned them. Why would you come to Fat Louie's for your hens night?
You ruined their good time.
It-
didn't you?
Because they had to
I think
question
I
their
may have. I was like,
lifestyle. It's like, why am I here?
What terrible thing happened to you in your life to think this would be a good idea? And that had to be diffused by another person, much like Mel, who came up and told her, the bride, she was very pretty and that she should have a lovely night.
So you fight chicks.
It's
Basically.
I can't help
With
it
a
if
big
the chicks
grin on
are the
his
ones
face.
doing the stupid shit in front of me. If dudes do stupid shit in front of me, I am equally bold in calling them out. But
Yeah, no, the
Yeah,
women
you
are more
look like
sensitive.
kids that they feel bad hitting someone that size.
that's probably fair.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that means that I'm the winner, if you could call it that.
No, wait, let's just talk about
fight
Nissa getting
girls.
punched in the mouth. Let's talk about you getting punched in the mouth.
When I walked down the street, and okay, well, this guy just started following me down the street, and because I look weird, and he was like, "Do you look disgusting on purpose?" I'm like, "Yes, obviously." And he's like, "You look fucking gross, man. You fucking gross." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I could change my hair color and look pretty hot, like in a matter of hours. You're like 40 years old and 4 foot tall. Like, what possible hope do you have of being attractive?" And so, like, he just didn't like the fact that I was like arguing with him about our worth as humans.
correct.
Oh.
Assessing his work as a human.
And so he like stops in front of me and cuts me off. So I'm just going to get a lighter so I can have a fucking cigarette. Because my brother and my dad are upstairs at the movies waiting to watch a movie. This is like a family vacation. So I'm just like, just gonna light up, gonna have a cigarette, gonna fuck off back upstairs. And this guy cuts me off, gets up in my face, and so I punched him first.
Oh.
I told the cops that, I didn't care. I was like 22, 23, no, 21. Yeah.
You're a grown ass
4
man.
years. Yeah, exactly. It's like 40 years old. Fuck off, man. Like, it's Christmas.
Wait, did you say that?
You should have.
There was like quite a lot of like back and forth before we got to the stage where I hit him. But yes, I did hit him first, but I think that it was warranted, and so did the police.
That's really disappointing because I
And
was...
so he straight up, he got up in my face like this, and so I just fucking shoved him straight away, and then he went to hit me, and I dodged and punched him right in the face. And then he tried to hit me with his umbrella, which I grabbed off him, and then he hit me in the face, and I smashed him with his umbrella, and then he ran down the street yelling, "The mean lady's gonna get me!" And so 2 dudes stop him, and they're like, "We saw what happened, man. You don't fucking hit girls like that, man." And then the security guy got there, and I called my dad and my brother, who came downstairs, and I feel so bad for that security dude, because you've not met my dad and my brother, but they extremely huge men, and very, very scary. And so there's this one security guard trying to protect this tiny shit dude from this huge... Because they come downstairs, and the guy's obviously hit me in the face once, so I'm bleeding. As soon as I started bleeding, I spat blood right in his face. And
God.
I just started grinning and chasing after him, because I knew I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. Like, you made a woman bleed in public, and people saw it. I can just fucking destroy it. And so yeah, I told the cops all of that, and they took him away for public nuisance. And they're like, "Well, we can't charge him with assault because you did hit him first." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck, man. I just want to see him Rudy and get out." So yeah,
For my ticket?
Yeah.
that was pretty
Did you
much
watch
it.
the movie?
Yeah.
What was it?
Big Mama's house.
The Chris Brown stuff.
I think it was actually something shit with Ben Stiller.
That's disappointing.
That's
Because
redundant.
that story
Yeah.
needed a bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a bad night worse.
It wasn't going to be something good.
No.
No, I was
Times
wrong.
where I've like legitimately like started a fight. Maybe a couple of times, like actually quite a few times, but I didn't mean to. Like I'd never ever meant to. Like it's just times like fucking Asperger's brain. I just say shit and it's
Yeah.
just not appropriate sometimes.
Have you ever fought Tom? Because I'm
Yeah.
surprised if you
Yeah,
haven't
seems
yet.
to be
It's very
Yeah.
likely.
We did have one play fight with all those, you know, the
The inflatable boxing gloves.
inflatable thingy
I have literally no recollection of what you're talking
at
about.
Rick's.
He
They had
rarely
that.
does with fights
Oh,
with
the
girls.
jumping castle.
Yeah, there was a jumping castle.
Oh shit, yeah, I remember that. I made rag bleed one time.
Like boxing
Yeah.
gloves and shit, like gladiator.
That was the same day.
Oh, it was.
It was the same day. Yeah, we
Yeah, the number of times
Oh,
that
no,
Rick's has
hell.
had a jumping castle with boxing gloves, like I'm pretty sure that was just the one time, guys.
Yeah.
No, I could have sworn that. But yeah, Tone had done a an acoustic set.
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
that night. Yeah.
That's always sad.
Actually,
Mm.
Hotel Pacific had one of those last week.
Yeah, they did. I wish I
And
went
played
there.
at parties.
Alright, so this one time I went to a bachelor's party. In fact, a Bucks party. It was the only one that I've ever been to, and I don't feel the need to go to a Bucks party ever again as a result of what happened at this Bucks party. To give some background, I went to a reasonably conservative Christian high school in Redcliffe. As a result, due to my status as an obnoxious atheist teenager, I didn't make friends very easily.
Got me at Red.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed at all. But I did
The
manage.
ones you did make were keepers, right?
Well, I haven't seen any of them in like 4 years.
Fuck
So,
no, they're stuck with Redcliffe.
one of the I did manage to make a few friends at guys that were about a year older than me. They like the same things as me: video games, animation, that sort of thing. Now, one of those guys was a guy called Trent, and he had no business hanging out with us. He was attractive. He was athletic.
How private school of you?
He was smart. He was popular. He was fantastic. But he liked video games, so he hung out with us most of the time, and we had a good time.
Just one step back in life.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, he was also the first of us to get married for some reason.
I kind of want to marry him.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dream boat.
How's
Now-
his marriage
Now,
now?
now Trent always threw the best parties. The only time that I ever went to the family was for his 21st, and we had a VIP booth and bottle service and a bar tab. It was fucking magic. It was the only time I could imagine enjoying that venue. His Bucks party was no exception. We did all the cliche Bucks party things. We went to the Gold Coast. We had a hotel room right above Cavill Avenue. We had as much liquor as we could carry. We had strippers and club passes and all these sort of things that make up the traditional Bucks party routine. So we rock up early afternoon and we go to the hotel and we meet the strippers and we go up into the hotel room and start drinking. Now, for whatever reason, we allowed the girls to control the playlist, so we were listening to mostly Evanescence and Def Leppard.
Things they could strip to.
What's wrong with Def Leppard?
There's plenty wrong with Evanescence.
I've had these songs before in the club.
It wasn't great, but we started drinking. We were having a good time. We were talking shit. Eventually, they wanted to start their show. They wanted to do a show, and that was cool. To do an explanation, as they say, they set up a stage in the middle of the living room. We got all the couches from the surrounding area and put them around what they set up as their stage. They had a little stereo there that they were playing their music through. They had a tarp down for...
All the goodies.
Just in case you're in the splash zone.
Yeah. In case there was splashes.
Like a trip to SeaWorld. The first 3 rows have to wear ponchos.
And they had a portable pole that they brought with them, which I thought was very ingenious.
Porty pole.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul is known as a broom.
And the way the pole works, and it's important later in the story, is that you would put it down on the ground and you would extend it upwards so that it was flush against the roof and against the floor.
Like one of those chin-up bars
Yeah.
that you put in between a door
Like the
frame.
one that Charisse had at the loft.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. There was a rubber stopper at the bottom and at the top, and you screwed it in tight so that it wouldn't move around. So they started doing their show, and it was great. It was as good as...
Naked women were awesome.
Yeah.
Did you start a fight with them?
As good as any strip show could be. They got the groom to be, and they put him on the floor, and they were straddling him and pouring shots down his throat. It was hilarious. He was having a good time, and we were all sitting around giggling like we were still in high school at a LAN party, sharing our porn collections. It was...
Kind of were.
Yeah, to a certain extent we were. It was fun. Eventually they get done with him and they start doing the rounds and giving dances to whichever guys happen to have cash on them, being the pragmatic sex workers that they were.
You still have to
Don't
pay
you
them
get,
after
like,
you've hired them?
some freebies with the hire? Or...
No freebies at all.
They're businesswomen. What do you want?
So Tom had a bunch of $1 coins. He was like,
Make it hail, bitch.
If I ask a plumber to come round, I don't expect to have to pay him per pipe. After I've already hired him
I
to
thought
come
you were
round.
about to say per bum crack.
I'm pretty sure
Well, if
even
he wants-
Amber comes with a few free ride tickets.
I
How
wouldn't
many
know what
I don't know if you're gonna get a
Two. There were two strippers, and I feel terrible about not remembering their names, though I'm sure they weren't real
I'm
anyway.
sure they were.
They were named
names.
after cars. Let's just say.
What,
Yeah.
Chastity and Fuckface?
Strippers aren't humans. I don't even remember the names.
One of my favourite cars is the fuckface, by the way.
Yeah. The Nissan fuckface. I've got one of those.
Anyway,
So-
did the keep going.
They start doing the rounds, and we're all drinking, and we're getting lap dances from girls that have no interest in having sex with us, and that's fine. But eventually, they come to the point where they're like, "All right, we want to finish up. We want to do our finale, and then we can go drink at the club or whatever the case may be."
Score down the road.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not. They actually came and hung out with us for the rest of the night at the club, which was
It's got a guy
Yeah.
waiting for me.
admirable of them.
Wait,
Yeah.
at no extra charge?
No, well, not that I didn't pay anything extra. And
Business
that's
as usual.
yeah, that's what counts. So they start to they put on their final song, which I swear to God was Marilyn Manson, The Dope Show, and they start to do their final show in the middle.
Indication of things to come.
Yeah, no, absolutely tragic. And they start to do their show, and they're swinging on the pole, and I noticed that they're getting braver on the pole as the song goes on.
Doing a wild routine.
Yeah,
Finishing off the
they're
night.
slowly, they're gaining their confidence. When they go on the pole, they're going up higher, they're staying up there longer, they're spinning faster. It's
Using up that energy.
yeah. Exactly.
Get money, you might say.
Yeah.
So they're getting towards the end of the song, and what happens over the next period of time, I'm sure was approximately 5 seconds, but felt to me like a lifetime. As they're getting towards the song, I look upwards, and I see the top of the pole, and I notice that ever so slightly it's starting to slip. It's
And you don't say anything. Do
not
you?
a like I say, it was 5 seconds.
He wants to sort of fight later on.
It's shifting.
He's
Ever
hoping at least one will be concussed by the time.
Yes,
Hey,
men.
hey, it's better than buying roofies from them.
Oh.
It's not my fault. She knocked herself out.
She self-raped herself.
Oh.
Anyway, the pole, it starts shifting ever so slightly, and I've got my eye on it. I've completely lost focus on the girls themselves, and I'm just keeping an eye on the top of this pole, which is ever so slightly starting to shift. And it's shifting more, and right as it comes to the climax of the song,
Which?
You reached your climax and he died.
the inevitable happened, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
The pole collapses. Strippers fly everywhere, ass over, oiled up tit. As one of them falls to the left of me, to the guy that's sitting on the couch to the left of me. Another one falls to the right of me, and at this point, I just think it's bad luck.
Because none of them fell on
No
me.
strippers fell on me. It wasn't great. I was a bit upset about that. But I had, at that point, forgotten about the pole itself. The pole, while it collapsed, fell directly towards me and hit me directly on the dick.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Apt.
That's not what strippers should do to you.
Now, everyone else noticed. Now, I'm not sure if they noticed or what, because they were either too embarrassed having noticed that I just got hit in the dick.
I would have pretended not to notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They completely not noticed, and they ignored me for the rest of the night.
Oh, weak sauce.
I think probably
They're
they
probably
just
afraid that
thought.
you were going to sue them or something, like bring it up, like I think you owe me some money for my sore dick.
They
I
have a
think
contract that is.
what you're bringing up, Thomas, is they could have made it a bit better.
You should have asked me about their public liability.
Yeah.
They were insured.
Hey,
Yeah.
kisses make it better, right?
I think they're entitled. They are required to provide a certain amount of stimulus to the penis, and a stripper pole falling
Well,
directly on
hey,
it. That
Man,
fulfills
can
the
I ask
requirement.
Absolutely satisfied that chord up for the
It's a
night.
bullshit
Does it
technicality
hurt more
right there.
if a pole fell on an erect penis or a flaccid penis? Which one would
Erect.
hurt more?
Oh,
Erect.
erect. Oh, yeah.
So were you erect at the time?
I was not erect. No.
Okay, so it's not
Like,
that
dude
bad.
sitting there,
with you?
dude sitting there.
Come on. Why would I be erect?
You just want to be in a room full of your friends,
I'm-
getting a big
Yeah, I'm not a
erection.
17-year-old asshole
On a
would
train
get...
in the
Yeah.
I will tell you right now.
Listening to, I heard strippers flying everywhere.
I have never been to a
his
fucking
friends were
strip
there,
club
they
with
were
a
all
total
dudes.
No,
erection. As
that
if you
Okay,
would.
is uncomfortable.
Really?
That one
How bad
attractive
do
Or
you
maybe
know?
one with like, you know,
Yours
the
landed either
partisan
side
little
of you, but you got the pole. You know, you got the rough end of that
Yeah.
fucking stick.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. It was bullshit. I will say this. We did end up going out clubbing with them and whatnot in fucking Gold Coast, by the way, which was just...
Yeah.
It was
It's
dreadful.
not great.
It was
No, we got a free drink at each club, but we were clearly spending way more than that.
Yeah.
But this was my favourite bit of that entire night. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I went to a fairly conservative Christian high school, so some of the people there at the Bucks party were themselves, in fact, quite conservative Christians.
in there.
Yes, that guy was absolutely there. That name we'll have to bleep out. Actually, he was very much trying to sleep with one of the strippers.
Why does that not surprise me at all?
Yeah, no.
Isn't that
But
what you do with strippers?
towards the end of the night,
That's
I
what
came
he
to the
does with
realization that I
everyone.
clearly wasn't enjoying Gold Coast clubs the way I was meant to be, because I was sitting in the back with a rum and coke, quite intoxicated, arguing about the merits of gay marriage with one of my conservative Christian high school friends, discussing the concept of the separation of church and state.
With a
Surround-
sword dick.
With a sword dick! Yeah. Needless, I actually ended up getting a cab home from the Gold Coast to Brisbane that night. Yeah.
I think I saw you later that night.
$150
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It cost a lot of money, but
In total, how much?
I forget. It doesn't matter. But a girl ended up coming over that night. So
Heyo.
Not one of the strippers or anyone from the Bucks party.
no,
So,
a
how
nice
much
girl.
Nice girl.
A girl who I actually enjoyed the company of.
Nice.
Last time I went to the Gold Coast, I was young, and we were in a club, and I was standing there drinking with my friends. I used to be a real, I wasn't cool like that.
Yeah.
With my beard and glasses and haircut. But so we were all standing around talking to each other, and then one of the walls fucking moved right next to me. It just the whole thing turned
Are you
around,
serious?
and he was holding a drink, and there was a man. It was a whole man had just turned around out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was there before. He was huge. He was the biggest thing I've ever seen. And he looks at me and he goes, "You fucking looking at me, mate?"
Oh, gee.
I'm like, "I am now because you're everywhere. I cannot look at you." And he's like, "You trying to start something, buddy?" I'm like, "Look at me." You wouldn't even know if I was trying to start something. The only reason you noticed me is because you turned around and I happened to be standing right in front of you. And he pushes me over and knocks my drink out of my hand. I'm like, "Why? Why me? I weigh 40 kilos or something."
Here's a hug.
Oh, thank you. He, I had sex with him later on.
Yeah, he turned out to be a stripper.
Alright.
You may have worded that incorrectly. Sex with you later on.
We
Alright.
both had sex later on. Okay.
So that's my story, for what it's worth. And we'll stop recording there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with Eamon for his story.
Alright, so this one time, I used to work in the coal mines, and I was away for about a week at a time. 1 week on, 1 week off.
When was this?
Maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I think now. No, it was like 3 or 4. And I was living in a great big share house with my friend Jody and the other guy.
And the rest.
And the rest. And at a later date, Adam. That's right. And during my time away at work, I did these 12-hour shifts, just driving trucks back and forth, and it was fucking boring. And so I'd spend most of that time in the truck thinking about how I was going to entertain myself when I came back to Brisbane. And around about the time Mariachi El Bronx was getting a lot of play on the radio. And and it sounded cool and I enjoyed it. And it's like, all right, well, I really enjoy this. I'm going to look into more mariachi music, which I found a great deal of. And so I organized a margarita party, but I just called it a jargarita party because we didn't have enough cups for everybody, and I couldn't rely on a bunch of drunk punks to handle glassware.
Also, I had a strangely large collection of jars for some reason.
Yeah, we all kind of did.
Yeah,
I encouraged more people to bring. I don't know. We used fucking old El Paso old El Paso jars, jam jars.
Which turns out all the rage now.
Yeah, I know, right? The hipsters just fucking reeled that shit in.
Like 10 years ahead of the crowd.
Sadly, I'm able to make all those preserves you were planning.
Your self-jam business is going to drain.
And then I encouraged people to either bring bottles of tequila or cartons of Corona, which people did turn up with. And leading up to the party, I remembered that people had problems with music because we all have our tastes and we all have our attitudes towards certain bands or certain styles.
It's going to be really hard to find a
So,
place that...
exactly. Everybody's like, Slayer sucks, this band sucks, what a bunch of posers. It's like, no, alright, I downloaded 8 hours. So, like, about 8 hours of mariachi music. It was all in Spanish, it was all legitimately Mexican or South American mariachi music.
No one can have a problem with that.
Nobody could. Because nobody was like, oh, yeah, or fucking Senor such and such is a poser. Oh, yeah, I liked him better when he was underground. Get fucked.
I like mariachi's older stuff.
And like one day you just bankrupted the Mexican music industry.
No, I paid for it on iTunes and everything.
Mexican iTunes.
Yeah.
Cuban Havana Club, right? It's just Colombian shit.
Alright, that's joke of the day.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well done. Yeah, and the mariachi music just went down a street. Nobody could say dick about it.
It's slightly happy music.
Hell yeah.
Angry
And everybody just enjoyed themselves. It was just background noise, really. It was just white noise in the background. Nobody can complain about it because they're just having fun and getting hammered.
Yeah.
And we all did. I think I scammed your eyeliner to draw Jody has scammed your eyeliner and drew a big Mexican mustache. Was there a...
on yourself or on Jody?
No, on myself.
I think I had my teeth. Oh,
Yeah.
this is before you could...
I reckon Jody will look good with mustache.
Yeah.
This is before you mustered your own...
We drank a lot.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen you with like the Tom Selleck movie before. French Betty gig.
Yeah. God, I wish I... And this was like through the day. This was like on a Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, we
Would've
used to
been,
drink... Yeah, we used to drink through the day. Downstairs at this house.
Used
As
to.
we're all getting
I don't drink as much as I used to. This is the most I've drunk in like months now.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I tell my doctor.
Not actually for me.
Yeah, we were getting daytime drunk. There was a show on later on that night, but I don't know. I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember that night ending.
No.
I don't think anyone does.
No.
Anything could have
No,
happened.
it's still going. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, we... At some point, the party wound down, and, like, I don't know, not mariachi music started getting played through the through this... No, it was the PA, wasn't it? We had that dirty, great fucking...
That's an outrage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say that's disgusting.
We were disgusting.
I don't know. I
We
think
deserved it.
yeah. I don't know. Usually it's easier to blame
Yeah,
to like
that
just
guy.
he was just good at like coming home and changing the music that we were all listening to.
All the time.
Yeah.
Really good at taking the blame.
Oh no, he was really good at ruining. Yeah, no, we're talking about.
No, that's right.
names.
No, for some context, this is his real name as well, which is pretty fucked up. Is a guy that's very easy to blame
He
for
lives
everything.
in Germany. It doesn't
ever.
even matter.
Yeah.
Really? He lives
Yeah.
in Germany
Oh
now?
yeah, he ran away like last year.
Fuck that guy.
What's that guy's full name? I got a bunch of shit to blame him for. If he's in Germany, this is never going to come back to
Why
bite
is
me.
Everything
so
in the
easy
last
to
10
blame?
years.
Oh,
Fuck
he's
that guy.
he's just been a scumbag
Because-
for. Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
He's
Because
don't trust your girlfriend with him. Don't like let him DJ for you.
Oh man, I gotta do so much bleeping right now.
Yeah, right. Christ used to like. Oh man, some of the nights that we'd have a good time just sitting around downstairs, and he'd come going, "No, we're listening to Smith Street Band all fucking night now." Yeah,
Who wants to listen to those guys?
fucking.
Me? The Street Band are
I like
fucking
the
cool.
Street Band.
oh, you're such a
occasion.
poser.
But when
Eat-
there's 10
eat a
other
dick.
people there getting into 9 Inch Nails,
Yeah.
you're not really in the mood to be putting on
Nah,
Smith
everybody.
Street Band.
Yeah, there was this one night. Everybody seemed to have their own fucking mix CD. Everybody's.
I listened to Stained. It's been a while.
Wow.
3 times last night. On
Wow.
repeat, like just right after one another.
Were you hanging out with strippers?
No, I wanted to listen to Stain, okay? It's not
So yes, you could have just said yes to the question while you're hanging out with strippers. Because
Why?
So how did that night
Why?
end?
I can't remember. I think I drank my weight in tequila,
yes, we did.
and everybody else did. Oh yeah, tequila and Coronas specifically.
That was just a party for the ages. That was
Yeah,
a
that was a
damn good
fantastic
party.
fucking-
good food as well. Someone
That's
was
right,
barbecuing.
fucking.
She was barbecuing.
No, but she brought. No, I was barbecuing. I was the one that was put in charge of cooking, but she turned up like I don't know an hour early just to help
Well, that's nice.
cook and shit.
We didn't have a barbecue.
Yeah, no, we had a grill.
We
had that
totally
fucking
did.
electric grill, and I made I don't know,
Skewers.
skewers like chicken skewers.
I was just imagining like a shopping trolley over an open.
Yeah.
That's our grill.
You don't remember the grill, do you?
I told Eamon
I
about
don't
it.
remember any food from.
But my Halloween experience.
Which, all right.
The most recent Halloween party that I went to.
Mm.
So
I know, I'm thinking of your New Year, sorry.
no, yeah, this girl to
Sorry.
whom we
My
were just
bad.
recently referring.
Yeah.
We used to hook up, and this is fine because I'm going to bleep it out anyway.
Sure.
We hooked up for a little while, and that was fine, many years ago. And
In the vagina?
yes,
Yeah, a couple
dir-
times.
Yeah.
Nice.
directly in and around her lady parts
Good.
was where it mostly happened.
That's a plus.
With
Uh,
hooks.
With hooks.
The bird? No. But the most recent Halloween thing I went to with a lady friend to one of her friends' houses to drink at and party at, and it was she's a burlesque chick and they're all burlesque people and they all enjoy that sort of
And
thing.
you started a fight.
I punched so
The
many
end.
burlesque people. I just
So sick of your sensual dance.
I'm impotent and I don't like it.
Thing is, they hit it until you couldn't see it coming,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, whack.
So we rocked up to this party in cab, and we got in and we started drinking, and I suddenly came to the realization that I know this place, I know this house. I had no idea how, and I came to the realization that the party that we were at was in fact the same house that this girl lived at when we were hooking up with many years ago.
Oh, that's weird.
And I
she
was
still live there?
no, she didn't. She moved out, but it was the same owners. It was, and I totally met the owner of this house when I was first hanging out with this girl.
Were your stains still on the walls?
Your mates actually.
Possibly.
I remember their names. They live up in Ash Grove. Yeah.
I was thinking that. One.
Yeah. It's that house.
Yeah, but no, I went to this party with another girl that I liked, and I was like, oh, I
you
used...
banged 2 different people in the same
the same
house?
house.
I used...
Unrelated.
Yeah.
No,
It's like-
coincidentally,
I've had
Well
sex in
played.
this room before, I can sense it.
no. And weirdly
Smells
enough,
like me.
My secret sense is teal.
and funnily enough, about half a decade before I had ever met Thomas, I was hooking up with in that exact.
genuine Eskimo brothers.
Yeah, right?
That's fantastic. I didn't know that.
Hey, if we're talking about the same, I might have done that 4 years ago.
Hey!
Oh god.
Yeah, definitely gonna bleep that name.
Yeah. Shit, you might have. Is that like a Big Bertha?
No, this is at Ashgrove.
Yeah, rightio.
Sorry.
Real coincidence. I'm.
Hey!
Hi-yo.
All
I didn't
right.
remember until just now.
I thought I was.
No, that'll do.
Apparently not.
That's
All
my
right.
story, and I'm sticking to it.
Same.
This is Nissa's story for the first ever episode of
This one time.
So yeah, this
This one time function.
and that's my story.
Please proceed.
Yeah, so this one time, I guess, I was dating this guy who I first met in high school, and I was really good friends with him, and then we kind of got together later. Really fucked up situation, it was stupid, he had a girlfriend, really terrible. But anyway,
Good opener.
it was a bad idea, just all around. So a few months in, and we've sort of broken up, and then he buys us both tickets to go see Frenzel Rom in some kind of an idea of trying to get back together. That was like meant to be our like rekindling the romance
You
night.
can't say no to Frenzel Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
It was one of my
was it the
favorite
arena?
bands. Yeah. It was that
Awesome.
night.
That's
But
incredibly
Reykjavik-
romantic.
Wasn't it?
Like,
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was
a great
there.
show. I was sober for once.
No, I took pills and made out with Benji apples and at the front of the place. I
if a
spent
girl
nothing.
did that for me, I'd probably get back together.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it was a good show, and you'll find out why I'm angry in a second. So yeah, we had some pre-drinks at my house, and Loki was there, and he was obviously the one drinking and making everyone else drink, as he does. And very few people can keep up with that because he's huge, and
Yeah.
no one else is.
And he used to drink like it was his last will and testament.
Yeah, like it was,
If
he
I
was getting
continue
paid
drinking
to.
now,
Yeah, we could
everyone's
do
gonna
it.
die.
We could do an entire episode about drinking with Loki.
Yeah.
Which
So-
we should.
In fact, I'm pretty sure we're going to do
Yeah.
that at
Yeah.
some point.
I think that's already a TV show on AMC.
Yeah, no, it was picked up by.
It's after Walking with the Dead or whatever the show is.
Yeah, it was picked up by Showtime last year.
You know what that is? That's a combination of Walking Dead and Walking with the
Yeah, yeah.
Dinosaurs.
It's David Attenborough with zombies. It's like, and now here we are with the zombies. They're dead.
Sorry, for reference, everybody, Loki is a guy that we know who is a lovely gentleman that drinks, or well, in the
He
past
still
has drunk a lot and is a very big guy. Is an incredible enigmatic character.
Has massive balls.
Huge.
Yeah,
balls.
medically too big.
He's a piece of shit.
Well, opinions may vary.
He's allowed to say that, it's his cousin, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no.
Alright, so pre-drinks at Frenzel.
Yeah. So it's before Frenzel, and we're having pre-drinks, and so we all get pretty drunk. And I
because-
lived in New Farm in this sweet loft, and so we went to Frenzel from there. It was awesome. Like watched part of the first band, getting drinks and everything. And so this guy that has brought me there, and he's just got way too drunk, and no one's really noticed because everyone's just having a good time. And then we turn around and we see him just bumping the shit out of everyone's beers.
I
and-
call bullshit on that, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but he was beyond blind the second he rocked up. Like, everybody saw that guy was way too drunk from the second that he walked in the door.
Yeah, I guess, except security. The
Well-
one person whose job it is to make that
Wait, this guy was trying to win you back, and he was way too drunk.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was
None of your
absurdly...
ex-boyfriends have ever tried that. Ever.
I'm actually quite jealous of that fact.
Yeah. I've never done that twice.
I'm sure that's... You only do it once, you regret it from there on.
And the second time it's worse.
But yeah, so promptly he got kicked out because he just fell over into a group of people and all of their drinks went everywhere. So we all went outside and we're just kind of just really stuck with a completely unconscious guy, and the band that we are there to see is about to start.
And
What do? You can't just leave him out. So wait here. I'm gonna go see friends all wrong.
And Tom
Being drunk.
lives just around the corner from the arena, so we're like, okay, we'll just like drag this guy to Tom's place, and he can fucking lie on the ground there.
That was
Being
a great
the,
place, by the way.
The accommodating young man that it was a great location. Is the better word? The actual contents of the place not so great.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that illegal rubbish dump that you set up in the middle of the valley.
I remember that. That was horrible.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We digress. So imagine you've got a 3x3 meter, I don't know, kitchen, lounge room, fucking whatever, with tiles on the floor. 2x2 meters of that was like a pile of rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that is,
dedicated to beer bottles and pizza boxes.
It
Accurate.
was. It totally was.
accurate.
And sadness.
Right, this was my favorite bit of that
You
was.
used to eat food off the floor.
Oh, that's an
that I know you didn't buy that day.
that's an that's an exaggeration.
That 100% happened. It was Red Rooster cheesy nuggets from the previous night.
To be,
Oh, dude.
to be fair,
How are you alive?
you don't waste cheesy nuggets.
It's not like there was going to be anything wrong with them. They're just made of only preservatives.
I wasn't worried about them.
Chicken
It's just all the things they'd come into contact with on the floor.
Well, that's the part of the sadness part, you know?
So this was my favorite bit about that whole apartment was that when I first moved in there, I had a girlfriend, my long-term girlfriend, and then we broke up. Like,
Was it over the pile?
no, it wasn't over the pile.
That
It was-
didn't exist yet.
It was
No.
a commemorative pile.
Oh, the pile
it's a
totally
shrine
existed, but she
pile.
didn't care. But I came to the realization that I'm single and lived in the valley, so I could just go out and talk to girls and be like, I live literally 100 meters from here.
Nice.
How many
So
times
Did
did
it
that
work?
work? There?
let's go hang out. But this is the fucked up thing. It worked.
Hey.
Because I would take people back and get drunk, and they...
Sexless innkeeper.
No.
No.
Oh.
Sex was had, despite the fact that there was gigantic piles of rubbish that nobody should ever have to put up with in 100 years. So it got to the point where like girls would come back with it, and what I imagine their thought process was like, yeah, but I'd have to get a cab home.
Really? I was just thinking that. I'm just gonna walk
You
around.
just gotta
these
weigh up the
tear-soaked
expense
pizza
and how
boxes.
much it's worth to you.
It's like, hey, come back to my place and we'll play Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
And that was totally it. I played video games and
It
ignored
was
them
not.
for a
You guys
lifetime.
went back, had some sex, she fell asleep, and then you played Mario Kart.
No, I actually took a girl back, saying we'll play some Mario Kart. Turned it on, so you had the opening credits of "It's a me, Mario Kart," while we're having sex. For a little, like we
You
both
don't
fell
wait
asleep
till
without
it
turning it off.
Opening
We
menu
woke
on
up
the
back to that.
DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Anyway,
That-
sorry, the
this is
story.
on loop again.
You
Die track, anyway.
and Frenzel Rom and the ex.
Yeah.
So,
So,
alright.
we've just been kicked out. Well,
So-
he's been kicked out and we're taking care of him. and
What
we-
actually got us kicked out though, and this was my favorite bit, but we were all taking very good care of this guy that was outrageously drunk, hoping for the life of it so that this guy wasn't going to get kicked out.
As you do, because you're a good friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 'cause they
And I
don't
wanted to see I wanted to see Frenzel because every time I've seen them, it's been a disaster. Something bad has happened. We were hanging
Absolutely
out.
no exception.
Yeah, and we're hanging out in a group, and I was wearing my leather jacket at the time, which was laden in patches and whatnot, which I very meticulously glued and sewed on.
Poser.
As a complete poser of a punk.
Do you know
that
what
I
punk
was.
is?
You don't glue stuff on.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Stitch it on.
My
You know what
little
a punk
fucking
is? I
fried
think I've got the
over here.
definition on the back of the jacket.
Yeah. And in one foul swoop, I swear to God this is true, he goes from standing to in free fall going backwards, pulls my Misfits patch off the back of my jacket.
Oh no, not the Misfits patch.
Was
Yeah.
it the main patch?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
There is a
the
patch.
it's the main. He doesn't grab my collar. He grabs the tip of the patch and pulls it off, and it's still hanging off to this day.
Wait, was it glued or sewed?
It was glued.
Oh no.
Hey, that's a sign if you're a poser. A, you have misfits. B, you have glued on.
It's fucking brutal.
Calling me out, motherfucker that works at Booper. Tell him. telling me that I'm a fucking poser punk.
Hey, so many people have like Misfit shirts who don't know who the fucking Misfits are, number one.
I know who the Misfits are. Go fuck yourself.
But do you like them? That's
Yes,
the thing.
I've got a fucking Misfits tattoo for Christ's
Like the
sake.
Misfits over like Red or somebody else. Like, there were plenty of better bands in the 80s than the fucking Misfits.
I fucking guess. It doesn't fucking matter.
This is for another fucking
Shut your fucking mouth. Let's continue with the story.
And next episode.
Yeah, to
Anyway,
hijack it.
The guy fucking falls back, he pulls the patch off my jacket, and in the same motion, simultaneously knocks over no less than 5 or 6 drinks in the hands of people directly behind him. Like, not even 5 or 6 people holding drinks on their own somehow manages to hit them
It was crazy.
and knock them all out of their
I
hands.
turned around at the
That's the
exact
kind of-
moment where everyone had already been knocked and was angry, and he was halfway on the floor, and I just turned around and go, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so we
You can't do that if you try, man.
Yeah.
Like, you really can't.
So we get kicked out.
We met some randoms and whatever, but mainly we just, like, took this fucking guy that I was supposed to be getting back together with, which is obviously not on the fucking
Did you
cards now.
want to get back together with him at the start of the night?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
did.
yeah,
She
yeah.
totally
And
did.
by
At
the end of the
night,
was
did
like
you?
in love. No, it was
No,
totally.
okay,
and
alright.
by
So
the end of
he
the night,
fucked
it
it
was
up.
like, oh, glad I never have to see him again. But yeah, so we took him back to Will's house, and he's like lying on the floor, whatever. We've got a bucket for him and shit. And I'm a bad person, so I'm like, fuck yeah, we can just go and see Frenzel. And
To be fair, he got himself in that state.
yeah,
like,
I didn't fucking do that.
if
That's
you
not
got
my
yourself
fault.
in that state and all of your friends missed out on seeing Frenzel, you'd feel like a bit of a cunt. You'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, go see them.
I-
You're
I
safe.
would've,
You've got
like-
your bucket. Like, fine.
Yeah, if I had been completely passed out and they did that, I would have been the next day. Like, you totally should have gone and see Frenzel. Like, that'd be
Yeah,
fine.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
I
but
has
so I was
bucket,
like,
you
I
know.
was completely ready to just ditch him on Willet's floor. But Willet was like, no, that's not a good thing to do. You're not like, that's
it's
just a
not a
really
good
shit
thing to
person
do.
thing to do. I'm like, oh,
Oh, you're such a
fine.
party pooper.
I'm pretty sure I just didn't want to leave a really shit-faced guy in my
In your
apartment
house.
alone.
In which case,
should've said
you
that.
should have stayed.
I'm pretty sure I did say that.
Alright, we're sorry about that, guys. We
I'm not sorry.
Technical difficulties.
yeah,
Whatever.
the recording cut out very briefly for whatever reason. We got up to a bit that you just heard, and now we're starting again, where Irish Roy, whose name I said I probably wasn't going to say.
That's not his name.
Yeah,
though, so
that's-
to be
it's a
fair,
good
if Irish
pseudonym.
Roy has a problem with you guys saying Irish Roy. Irish Roy should show his Irish mouth.
How many Irish people? How many Irish people are actually named Roy though?
How many
I'm
Irish
sure
people
it's like
are
a diamond
Irish
I think
Roy?
mainly
Yeah.
just that one guy from the IT crowd, but
No. Alright, shut up. So, Irish Roy was drunk, and we brought him back to my apartment to crash out, and Nissa wanted to go back and watch Frenzel, and I was like, I was being a bitch. I was like, no, I don't want to leave a random shit-faced guy
that's
at
not
my
what you
house.
said. You
Just-
made me feel like a dick for being the person who's like, I want to go see Frenzel, and you're like, no, that's not what a good person does. That's not like a good friend move, man.
I don't remember doing that, but
Yeah,
Continue.
well, it sounds exactly like you.
Just quickly though, because I know that unit. Did he sleep in your bed or on the
Oh.
He
dirt
was on the
pile?
floor.
This
well
is actually
and
a
truly
good bit
on
of
the
the
floor.
story. This is I made him sleep on the floor, like with a bucket, but that gets better later on.
Yeah,
continue.
so I conceded, and I was like, fine, we won't see Frenzel, so we just started, like, watching movies, and we just left fucking Irish Rory on the floor, to, you know, throw up, do whatever he does. And so we're just watching movies, whatever, go to sleep, and, like, at one point in the middle of the night, he, like, has taken all his clothes off, and, like, okay, it was just, obviously me and Willett are sleeping in Willett's bed, nothing sus or anything, but it's only one fucking bed.
Of course, it's Willet.
Not sleeping on the floor.
I am a eunuch.
He may fight you.
This guy here only has one bed.
This is actually what I do to girls when I bring them back home. I don't bang them, I just
Fight.
Bang them.
I fight them. I just punch them.
there's
Oh,
rings
you
that
want to
go on.
fuck? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
push you into that rubbish pile right
How
there.
about you? I challenge to a game of fisticuffs.
To be
Someone comes
fair, I
up with a
have
few
heard
tips.
that.
Alright, so Nissa and I were passed the fuck out in bed.
Yeah, totally asleep. So middle of the night, at one point he gets up, takes all his clothes off, so he's just in his underwear and like tries to get in the middle of the bed, like between us, because he thinks something weird's going on. We're both totally asleep.
To be fair, I have done that a number of times. I don't even care if weird things are going on.
No, but he was mad about it. Like he was trying to like force his way in there to like make sure that nothing happened. And it's like, dude, firstly, we're not even together. This was us trying to get back together, and you definitely did not achieve that.
I still got a chance.
So, you know, the next day we wake up, whatever, and go home.
Yeah,
I send Irish
sure
Roy all the way home. We went and got some food.
Did we
and
do
shit.
Cosmos? We did the
Yeah,
Cosmos breakfast?
We had a proper
Yeah,
breakfast. And
so
shit.
we had full English the next morning and...
It was
bounced
pretty
off.
good, but then I get a message from Willett like a few hours later after I've got home and shit, and he's like, "Hey, I think Irish Roy pissed in my t-shirt drawer." It's like, at some point during the night, he's got up, he's opened the t-shirt drawer, and managed to piss all the way through it with no recollection. And
Bullshit.
I don't know, like,
It
I mean,
happens all the time.
I've done this before. I've actually just in my friend's underwear drawer because, like, I woke up sleepwalking. Like, I only realized about 3/4 of the way through. Like,
Oh
so
shit, you woke up during it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I just pretty much
it's really
sleepwalked.
common, dude.
Opened up his fucking drawer. He wasn't home at the time. We were in bed, so I pissed in his drawer. Like, actually came conscious about 3/4 through and went, "Oh shit."
Gotta finish now.
Well, too late through. I'll do this in a lie
At that
tomorrow.
point, what do? Do you stop or do you pull it
No,
out and
you
put it on the
just,
floor?
you just keep going and they'll be like,
You just
it's a
do
lie
it.
tomorrow that all I have to do is say it was you. Close the drawer, went back to sleep.
Hey
on his
man, I
couch.
tried to tell you to stop pissing in your own drawer, but you just kept doing it all night.
So I decided to take him back to my apartment. We can all fucking chill out and watch movies, and he can pass out, and we can just
oh,
fucking
that's right.
hang
He was
out.
a real bitch about it in the morning, wasn't he? He was being such a dick to
Yeah.
you because we slept in the same bed. And
He was a
cunt.
he was a right asshole to me the whole way through.
That's the Irish.
Yeah.
I tried to explain to him the next day. I'm like, you know, he missed out on Frenzel Rom, and I was gonna leave you there, and he was the one who said that we shouldn't. And you've been a real dick to him, and he's just taken care of you for the whole night. And he just would not get that through his head at all. He was just being such a dick about it.
He was very salty about the whole the whole thing that happened. Alright. And so I've only got one set of drawers in my entire apartment at that
And he
point
pissed
in time.
in them.
And I've got several drawers. I've got work clothes, I've got underwear, I've got the drawer for things for
A sex
lingerie.
drawer, which is like a sex
fully,
drawer.
Porn drawer.
You're fully underwears.
it's the sex drawer.
mean,
I think we can all
He could
fucking
be brown.
I've got the sex
Across
drawer
his
with
pants.
the
Definitely.
He
very
likes the
Sex.
edible
Yeah.
pens too.
the bits and bobs.
all the things that we
And
imagine
I've
that
got
will
my
be a
band
drawer.
shirt drawer. My drawer full of shirts that I've lovingly collected over many years.
Is that the one he pissed on?
Yes.
Of course it is.
He pissed in my band shirt drawer. The drawer full of shirts that are collector's items that you can't get anywhere
Hey,
anymore.
they're really one of a kind because no one else had his piss on it.
Exactly. And he pissed in that drawer, and he didn't say a I don't think he ever actually apologized. Well, not to me directly, anyway.
No, well, he certainly wouldn't have done that. But
Why?
he's like a total wuss, though. I thought that he hated me for ages because he like deleted me off Facebook. But apparently Adrian ran into him, and he's like, "Can you give the message to Nissa that I just couldn't see her stuff on Facebook because it was too painful, and I'm not mad at her."
What an overly emotional pussy.
Like, holy shit! I didn't realize that you've started hormone therapy.
Hey,
Maybe you
I've-
shouldn't have
I've
pissed in
deleted-
his friend's drawer then. I don't know.
I've
Like,
deleted girls, like, in his defense, I've deleted girls off my Facebook for the exact same reason.
You're
Yeah, you don't tell
you're
other
giving
people.
the
Yeah, you don't
message
tell
because
people
that's
that.
like.
you don't pass on the message.
Because that's
This is so pathetic
Could
and
you let
passive
them know?
aggressive. Like,
I just don't want to see their face.
No,
Your
passing on that
existence makes me
specific
upset,
message
I
is
can't
probably
see it.
bad, But most guys, in terms of like a relationship
Yeah, you'll
breakup,
stop
will-
talking to her, but then you won't go to one of her other ex-boyfriends and go, "Oh, it's good to
Yeah,
see you anymore."
can you tell
yeah, for
them
reference,
the
Adrian
reason
is another one of my
why is
ex-boyfriends.
because of
So
that?
Last night she said she'd had a good day. It was just too hard.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he left a pair of sunglasses at my house, and
Piss on him?
I absolutely broke the shit out of them.
Oh,
I was just like,
I still have the batarang. The batarang was like this token of love that he gave to me, and he's like,
Because there's nothing sexier than a 50s Batman thing.
Fucking A.
He's like, gave me this.
Hey.
I thought it was cool.
Give
I
you a
still got it.
batarang married
He's
to
like,
life.
he's like, hold on to this until I'm ready to come back and get it from you. And
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cute until he
what's
pisses
this
in
guy?
your drawer.
If he comes round to our house to get that Batarang, I'm throwing it at him.
No, you're peeing on it.
it
coughing
sounds sweet, but don't make noises because he's not like that at
It
all.
does
He's just
sound
like
pretty
way
sweet.
too like intensely emotional.
I
Like,
think it's
love
pretty
that, though.
he
sweet.
is a creepy guy. He's just a bit too creepy.
I'm a creepy person.
Well,
How we got together was he contacted me on Facebook and we organised to go out for drinks, and then we hooked up, and he was like, I always loved you so much. I loved you in high school forever. I've always loved you. That was the first night.
Did he know you in high school?
We were friends.
It's rookie error. Why would you date that, to be fair?
Duh, it's me. I dated you, motherfucker. Like, obviously.
That's actually
snap.
pretty fair. That's,
Yeah.
Oh my god, Nissa makes bad choices in relationships.
Who
This
are
is
you?
news to nobody.
Alright, Jesus.
Bad choices.
So it's, that's,
So, what's a Batarang?
So
Okay, well, it came with the limited edition, the
Honestly,
Batman
it's a
Arkham
Batman
Asylum.
Sorry, I
Boomerang.
feel like a dickhead the way you said that. Oh shit, of course.
It's
It's a
honestly-
Batman
He
boomerang.
doesn't use it anymore. It's like the one that Adam West used to have. It's just like a
The
Batman-
real Batman.
Yeah, it's a bat-shaped. Well, probably Michael Keaton used one as well. It's
He
a thing
did.
that he throws at people like.
So
seeing
it's
a
really
disc thing.
not as sweet as you actually
No,
think.
it's not.
No,
it's
that is
not
pretty
real one,
sweet.
It's plastic. It's like a shitty
It
plastic.
came with
bag.
Arkham Asylum.
Slightly less
It
sweet.
came with a game.
That's the thing. But he got the game
Slightly less
specifically
sweet,
so he
yeah.
could get
wait,
Where's
the
the
was
game?
it Arkham
It's
Asylum?
Arkham Asylum. Like 5 times.
He paid $20 extra for that wonderful gift. That
That wasn't a gift, it was a
it wasn't,
token.
but
if
it
you
was
want
a
to-
token. It was here. I don't need this
If
because I
you
got
want-
the game that I can play.
If you want a Batarang as your symbol for a relationship,
Get
you're
another one.
wrong. Number
Oh, he-
one,
he
you
made
throw it away and it comes back.
Yeah, he even made the metaphor. He said the metaphor. I swear to
Oh,
fucking God.
sweetie.
He said, like, you know, because it'll come, like,
You'll
Coming
come back to
back.
me eventually.
Because you'll try and throw this relationship to the person who's robbed you, and it'll still come back to you. So that's
So
good.
he's
I have that same attitude towards lighters. I say, this is my lighterang. I will lend this to you.
And it'll eventually come back.
I have the same thing with gonorrhea. I give it to as many people as I can, and they all give it back. And then 1 week, I just have the worst gonorrhea.
Hey, at least you got the cream for it prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
In case.
Gonorrhea comes with
This
no
is
cream.
love Batarang.
Yeah.
oh, I
Right.
forgot about the metaphor. That was really clumsy as well. It was just, like, really painful to go through that whole conversation.
How do you react to that when someone gives you a
That-
Batarang and you're
that's-
like, this is a
that's
symbol
just-
of our love?
T-Y.
And you're like,
I can tell you how I reacted, but...
Fucking Batman memorabilia.
How did you
I'm gonna
react?
put this in my back.
Yeah, how did you react, man?
Biggest fake smile ever, and a
Oh, I imagine Nissa thought it was the best thing in the world when it
No,
happened.
actually, I was just like, oh, cool, Batarang. I just put it on the thing. I'm like,
Sweet deal.
symbol, no, I've got a
I'm just
Batarang.
gonna put this on the wall next to your bleeding heart.
especially considering that, like,
Cool.
his rekindling our relationship was a week after that. I really didn't feel the need to give it back to him at that point. Like,
Well, at this stage, you've got a Batarang. Why give it up?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the first ever episode of This One Time. Eamon and I are so glad that you took...
Outro. Woo.
This feels like the last episode of the season.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, this is like, please listeners keep in mind this is the first episode. We'll be editing, we'll polish. We may or may not get better.
We probably won't get better.
should do a drugs one next time.
I can't talk. I can't talk while this is going on.
Yeah, stay tuned for our next episode where we talk about illicit substances and how we may or may not have ingested them.
Alright. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much.